Today I am reviewing Long Wharf Theater's production of Adil Mansoor's Amigan, or Amigani if you will, running through June 23rd at the Theater and Performance Studies Black Box at Yale University at 53 Wall Street in New Haven, Connecticut. Come out to my Patreon page where you can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help support this channel as well as my classic cinema podcast, Yesterday's Matinee. Thank you to all my current patrons, especially my Neo and Hamilton tier patrons, and welcome to the new ones. A link will be in the description. Amigan, or Amigani, I'll get into more detail in that later, is the true story of Adil Mansoor, who wrote and stars in the piece, and his relationship with his mother, whom he calls Ami, or mother in Urdu, who is devout in her Muslim faith. Adil, who is a homosexual, has never officially come out of the closet to his mother, even though in some capacity she is very aware of how he lives his life because of family speaking to her about him and her own internet searches of her son. This puts a massive strain on their relationship for years. To reconnect with his mother, Adil, who is a theater director who primarily focuses on queer theater, asks his mother to help him to create an Urdu translation of Sophocles' play Antigone. The two begin to form a new bond with each other as they find common ground and understanding of each other's seemingly disparate points of view as they discuss Antigone's motivations for wanting to make sure both of her deceased brothers are given equal burial rights. The story spans much of Adil's life, particularly his upbringing growing up outside of Chicago. Adil expresses his upbringing as a Muslim, particularly what it was like living with his father and the conflicts that arose. Amigan, or Amigani, Adil says there's no incorrect way to pronounce it as it is a composite of Ami and Antigone. I like Amigani, though he tends towards Amigan. Anyway, Amigan is a sensitive, tender piece where it is very apparent that Adil is still dealing with deep internal conflicts on how to address these issues with himself and his mother. The ending resolution by him and the reasons behind it is noble and heartbreaking, and at the end you want to give him a big hug and reassure him that everything is going to be okay. Though I was deeply moved by the story, a lot of it is told through audio recordings of conversation between Adil and his mother. This makes Amigan feel more like a TED Talk at times instead of theater. I'm not giving it a perfect one-to-one comparison here, but it's the closest comparison that I have. There's a monologue that Adil gives near the end of the play where he addresses his mother facing upstage. I wish he would have delivered it facing the audience. I understand why he made the choice to do it this way. It's deeply personal, and having it directed as directly as possible to his mother is a strong choice, but I think it would have impacted the audience more if we could see this turning point to the story directly. Adil uses a lot of images over the course of the show of him and his family, but because his mother is a devout Muslim who wears a hijab, Adil, out of respect, never shows her face to the audience. I find this to be sensitive and tender on his part, and he uses creative ways to showcase his relationship with her through photographs of him and her that have been altered so as not to reveal her. Xotchil Musser's set design is nice, using boxes with intricate designs cut into them as the building blocks of the set. I particularly like the disguising of an old-school projector that Adil uses to present one of his photos of his family and some of the intricate fabrics that he uses as props, which are gorgeous looking. Amigan is a tender, sensitive piece of a son finding a way to keep a bond with his mother, whom he loves deeply, and works to keep a bond with her despite the inherent cultural conflict of her faith and his sexuality. It drags a little at times with overdependence on audio recordings and one monologue I think that would have been better directed towards the audience, but it is a beautiful piece nonetheless. With so many LGBTQ people out there dealing with similar issues of ostracization or fear of ostracization from their families because of their sexuality due to the family's religious convictions, the story offers hope that there can be some understanding and reconciliation and love to be found. But I'm only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you'd like to see Amigan, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get tickets. Also in the description will be a link to my Patreon page, so check that out if you'd like to support my work. You can also support me by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and click the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be 2.5 Minute Ride at Hartford Stage. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.